Most people think the reason they are not getting rich is because they need a better job, more motivation, or another side hustle. But the real reason is much deeper than that. Most people are stuck because they are playing the wrong money game entirely. They are trying to earn more inside a structure that was never designed to make them financially free. And that's exactly what this video is about. Today, I'm going to show you the 6 levels of making money, why most people get trapped at the worst ones, and how the people who build real wealth think completely differently about income, work, and leverage. Stay until the end, because the final level changes the way you see money forever. And once you understand it, you'll realize why some people work harder every year and still stay broke, while others quietly build systems that keep making them richer. And before we start, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this is the kind of financial knowledge that can literally change the trajectory of your life if you actually apply it. Now let's get straight to the point. There are only a few real ways to make money. You can inherit it, steal it, marry into it, or exchange something for it. For most people, there's only one realistic path left: exchanging something for money. But here's the part almost nobody understands. Not all exchanges are equal. The structure of the exchange changes everything. It changes your ceiling, your stress level, your freedom, your scalability, and your future. That's why two intelligent, hardworking people can end up with completely different financial lives. One is simply operating at a higher level. So while you watch this video, keep asking yourself one question: what level am I playing at right now? And what level should I move toward next? Let's start with level 1. I work first, then you pay me. This is the traditional employee model. You trade your time, your energy, your focus, and your labor for a paycheck at the end of the week or month. This is the most common level in society because it offers predictability. You know when money is coming in. You can plan your bills, your rent, your car payment, your groceries, and your responsibilities. And let's be honest, there is nothing wrong with having a job. The internet loves pretending that employment automatically means failure. That's nonsense. For many people, a job is the safest and smartest place to start building stability. The problem is not level 1 itself. The problem is believing it's the top, because it isn't. At this level, your time is directly connected to your income. If you stop working, the money slows down or stops completely. You are not building something that pays you independently. You are participating inside someone else's system. And while that system may give you stability, it also gives you limits. Your income growth usually depends on promotions, performance reviews, company budgets, office politics, and decisions made by people above you. You can be talented, hardworking, and reliable and still remain financially stuck because the structure itself has a ceiling. That's why level 1 can quietly become a trap. It feels safe, but safe and free are not the same thing. And this is important. Many people stay here forever because predictability feels emotionally comfortable. Human beings naturally avoid uncertainty. But the cost of avoiding uncertainty forever is often financial limitation. Now, here's where people make a huge mistake. They think the answer is simply quitting their job immediately and becoming an entrepreneur. That's fantasy. Plenty of business owners work more, stress more, and earn less than skilled employees. So don't romanticize levels. The smart move at level 1 is not panic. The smart move is preparation. Use the predictability to learn valuable skills, build savings, study business, understand markets, and prepare for higher levels intelligently. Now let's move to level 2. You pay me while I'm working. This is the world of freelancers, consultants, designers, coaches, editors, marketers, contractors, developers, trainers, and independent service providers. At first, this level feels incredible. You gain flexibility. You can raise your prices. You can work with multiple clients. You can negotiate your own value. For many people, this is the first real taste of independence. But level 2 has a hidden trap: the illusion of freedom. A lot of people leave one boss and accidentally create 10 clients who all demand attention at the same time. They still trade time for money. They still rely heavily on their own execution. They still wake up every day needing to produce. And often, they become financially unstable because clients can disappear overnight. Projects end suddenly. Payments get delayed. And without systems, the income becomes unpredictable. But level 2 teaches something incredibly valuable: selling. At level 1, you mainly need execution. At level 2, execution alone is not enough anymore. You need to convince people to trust you, hire you, renew contracts, and pay higher prices. And that skill becomes essential for every higher level afterward. This is also where many people begin discovering an uncomfortable truth. Being good at something is not enough. The market rewards people who communicate value clearly. Now here's the key problem with level 2. Your income still depends heavily on your time. If you stop working, the money slows down. That's why the next level becomes so powerful. Level 3. You pay me first, then I work. This changes the entire dynamic. At level 3, clients pay upfront before delivery begins. That may sound small, but psychologically and financially, it changes everything. When people willingly prepay you, the market is saying something important. Your perceived value increased. Your authority improved. Your positioning became stronger. This is where premium consultants, agencies with retainers, high-level coaching programs, clinics, courses, and specialized service businesses often operate. And getting paid up front creates major advantages. Your cash flow improves. Your risk decreases. Your stability increases. And most importantly, your leverage grows. Because the person who defines the payment structure usually controls more power in the relationship. Now let's be honest. People do not prepay because they feel sorry for you. They prepay because your offer feels valuable enough to justify it. That's why positioning matters so much. And this is exactly where many people fail. They negotiate from weakness. They apologize for their prices. They behave as if the client is doing them a favor. That mindset destroys leverage. Strong positioning changes payment terms, and stronger payment terms create stronger businesses. But even here, there's still a ceiling, because at level 3, you are still mainly getting paid for delivery. The next level changes that completely. Level 4. I get paid for results. Now the game becomes much more interesting. At level 4, people stop paying mainly for your labor. They pay for outcomes. This is the world of commissions, affiliate deals, revenue share, performance bonuses, growth partnerships, and profit participation. And this level is incredibly powerful because it disconnects income from hours worked. If you can create huge results quickly, your earnings can become disproportionate to your time invested. That's where leverage truly begins. Think about someone who helps businesses increase sales dramatically, or someone who scales advertising profitably, or someone who generates leads that turn into major revenue. Should they be paid only for hours or for impact? At level 4, impact becomes the focus, and impact scales far more aggressively than labor. But this level also requires courage because risk increases. If the result does not happen, you may earn little. That's exactly why the upside becomes larger when things work. Markets reward people who absorb uncertainty others avoid. This is also why many highly talented people eventually leave fixed-income structures. Because extraordinary ability trapped inside fixed compensation systems often becomes underpaid. Now let's move to level 5. I get paid for absorbing risk. This is where things become sophisticated. At level 5, you are no longer mainly selling labor or even outcomes. You are selling protection against uncertainty. Insurance companies operate here. Warranty businesses operate here. Risk management systems operate here. People pay because they fear what might happen, and you absorb part of that fear. And here's the secret. Fear is expensive. People pay enormous amounts of money for peace of mind. That's why insurance is such a massive industry. Customers pay continuously even when nothing bad happens. But obviously, this level requires intelligence. Blindly absorbing risk destroys businesses. The key is understanding the difference between perceived risk and actual risk. Elite investors understand this deeply. They do not avoid all risk. They price it intelligently. And when the market overestimates danger, opportunities appear. Now finally, we arrive at level 6, the highest level, the rarest level. I control the flow of money. This is where the real power lives. At level 6, you are no longer simply participating in transactions. You position yourself inside the system where money moves. Banks operate here. Payment processors operate here. Platforms operate here. Marketplaces operate here. Franchise systems operate here. These businesses sit in the middle of transactions and capture a percentage every time money flows through their infrastructure. That is fundamentally different from selling labor, because now the money moves through your system whether or not you personally worked every hour involved. And infrastructure creates leverage at a completely different scale. Think about platforms like Amazon, Airbnb, Uber, app stores, payment companies, streaming services, and marketplaces. They built systems where other people create the activity, while they capture part of the flow. That's why these models become so powerful. Now, obviously, not everyone will build a billion-dollar platform, but the principle still matters. You can move closer to level 6 by building audiences, communities, subscription systems, marketplaces, recurring revenue businesses, or distribution channels. The more the flow depends on your system, the stronger your leverage becomes. Now pay attention to how everything connects. At level 1, you get paid because you work. At level 2, you get paid while you work. At level 3, you get paid before you work. At level 4, you get paid for outcomes. At level 5, you get paid for absorbing risk. At level 6, you get paid because money flows through your system. Do you see why some people work incredibly hard for decades and still never build wealth? Because effort alone does not determine financial outcomes. Structure does, and this is where most people get trapped forever. They try to solve structural problems with more effort. They stay in the same level and simply work harder inside it. More hours, more stress, more exhaustion. But the real transformation happens when you move upward intelligently. Now, let me make something very clear. This does not mean everyone should immediately try jumping to level 6 tomorrow. That's fantasy. Real growth happens step by step. If you're at level 1, maybe your next move is learning valuable skills. If you're at level 2, maybe it's improving positioning and building recurring contracts. If you're at level 3, maybe it's negotiating performance upside. If you're already generating measurable results, maybe it's time to study scalable systems and ownership. The point is not rushing blindly. The point is awareness. Because the biggest financial breakthrough of your life may begin the moment you stop asking, "How do I make more money?" and start asking, How do I make money at a higher level? If this video changed the way you think about income, hit like right now, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who desperately needs to hear it. Because most people spend their entire lives trying to earn more money inside the exact same structure, while a small group quietly climbs levels and changes their